Thank you, Kat. Welcome, everybody, to the Zoning Board of Appeals public hearing Thursday, August 25th, 2022. In attendance are board members Susan Stevenson, Julia McCormick, Luke Ferrin, and Joyce Gifford, and our legal counsel, Jeffrey Blinkoff, as well as our village planner, Alex Wallach. I will motion to open the public hearing for Thursday, August 25th, 2022. Can I have a second?
Second.
And all in favor?
Aye.
So our first order of business is a motion, my motion to accept the applicant's request to adjourn to September 13th, 2022 in case number 3133 and case number 3134. Can I have a second on that motion to accept their request for adjournment?
Second.
And all in favor of accepting the request for adjournment in case numbers 3133 and 3134 say aye or raise their hand.
Aye.
So we will adjourn cases 3133 and 3134 until September 13th, 2022. Case number 3130, the estate of Janet Stein, 2 Meadow Lane, is withdrawn by the applicant. And we can move forward to our first case, which is case number 3131, Smithtown Partners, 40 Meadow Lane. Is the applicant here to present?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. Michael Somlensky for the applicant, Smithtown Partners.
How are you, Michael? Do you want to go ahead, Michael?
Michael, you're on mute.
Sorry, it muted me. Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. Michael's for the applicant, Michael Somlensky, 860 Montauk Highway, Watermill. We submitted an affidavit of medical necessity. I know the board reopened the public hearing because of a mistake in the building inspector's initial determination. I believe that now it's been renoticed. We've submitted our affidavits of posting and mailing. And if the board has any questions, we'd be happy to address them. But otherwise, I believe this matter is ready to be closed again.
I just say that it was my understanding that both the applicant and the building department missed a small height measurement, not just the building department, Mr. Sendleski. Wasn't your application also, I mean, they didn't make up the number, it just wasn't caught.
We actually got the number from the building department, but however you want to characterize it, Ms. Steve.
Okay.
So the height restriction is 32 feet instead of 30 feet. We originally had thought it was 30 feet, but the height restriction is actually 32 feet. The pyramid relief has not changed. Is that correct, Michael?
Yes, that's correct. Basically, as a result of this, we're requesting less relief from the board than was initially sought.
Okay, and have all the board members received the affidavit of medical disability and necessity submitted by Mr. Sendleski and signed by Mark D. Price, MD?
Received.
Yes.
And do you want to summarize it, or I'll summarize it? It essentially says that the applicant is in need of an elevator for medical reasons. Is that a fairly succinct, accurate summary, Michael?
Yes, it basically, as we've discussed, as we just have discussed since the beginning of this application, the reason the applicant is asking for an elevator is because of mobility impairment that affects his daily activities. And on the advice of his doctor, he's been going up and down the stairs could pose a health risk to him in those activities.
Okay, do any other board members have questions or comments?
Well, that's all well and good, but it didn't say he needed to have an outside elevator. It just said that he may need to use an elevator. Just to be clear, I didn't see that the doctor had prescribed an outside approach to the elevator. And so I don't know actually how it pertains. The architect has already said that an elevator could be put inside.
The elevator as is proposed is in the best area to allow for access to all the levels of the home.
My understanding was the same as Mrs. Stevenson's, that when we heard testimony on this case now several months back, that the architect who definitely stated that there was places in the interior of the home where an elevator could be placed. And I believe that when we were in our final summations and comments, most of the board members also commented on that fact, that there was an alternative to what was being requested that was preferable.
You would still need to have access to that elevator, and the access from the parking court that provides the best access is the access that's proposed by the applicant.
I actually disagree with that, given that the garage bay is closer than the parking court to the elevator, if the elevator were inside the house, where the architect has said he can put it.
So I think before us now is whether we have enough information to motion to close for all purposes the public hearing. Do any board members have any other questions, or do they need any additional information in order to continue their deliberations?
And Mr. Chairman, I didn't know if there was anyone from the public who wished to be heard.
Jolie, do you see anybody from the public who wishes to be heard with respect to 40 Meadow Lane?
There are no hands up.
Okay, I'll motion to close for all purposes, case number 3131 40 Meadow Lane. Can I have a second?
Second,
And all in favor of closing for all purposes, case number 3131 Smithtown Partners 40 Meadow Lane, say aye or raise their hand.
aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sandleski.
Have a good night.
So we go now to our first new case, which is case number 3141 Kathleen Ferrara, 115 Fox Hollow Lane.
Mark, I'm
Jody?
sorry, shouldn't we also do the adjournment for 3132? Did you miss that? Or
Is it-
had that always been on the 13th? I didn't mean to.
I thought we did it together with, let me go back to,
Well, we
That's
didn't.
370 Great Plains Road. That's a
oh, I
second.
thought we had, yes, I thought we had already accepted, we can do it again, but the reason why I went over it is I thought we had
I'm sorry,
accepted
I
that
might have just
adjournment at the prior meeting.
I
We
didn't upset the apple cart.
No, we did
No,
We didn't.
we did not? Okay, so I'll
Okay.
motion to accept the applicant's request for adjournment to September 13th, 2022 in the case of case number 3132, Lee Cruder, 370 Great Plains Lane. Can I have a second?
Second,
And all in favor of accepting the applicant's request for adjournment, say aye.
aye.
I,
Thank you, Julia. So now we are on to the first new case. Is the applicant here or their representative in the case of 3141 Kathleen Ferrara, 115 Fox Hollow Lane?
Yes,
Julie, can you-
Kathy Ferrera is, I'll bring her in.
You should do it, you just say it. Hello.
Hi, can
Hello,
you hear me?
Yes.
very well.
Hi.
Good evening, Chairman, board members. Hi, Alex. Good to see everybody. So I am on today because I had sent in an application which has since been revised. The application was originally for a variance of 15 feet from all property lines, which we changed it to 20 feet to address the concerns of the neighbors. So we're actually asking for less of a relief. I did have this survey updated. I was told by the building department that the zoning board did have some concerns about the survey and asked if I would put the rear side and front yard on there with the setbacks. Do you want to see the survey or do you have the new survey? I'm a little new with Zoom and how to share my screen, but certainly, does anybody need to see the new survey that was done?
We have the survey dated August 8th, 2022, received by the village.
Right, showing the crabapple tree on there also?
Yes, it is helpful, though, for these meetings to have the survey screen shared. Are you able to do that, or?
Yep,
Joey,
I'm
can you
gonna
help?
try that right now. T, how do I do that?
Somebody could walk you through it.
You know what? I have my husband right here
Mhm.
with me.
Good. Oh, great.
Have them walk you through it.
Oh, okay, so. where-
Kathleen,
Yep.
first choose your photo so you can see it on your computer.
Do you know how
And
to?
it'll bring it up in front of Zoom, so don't get scared.
Okay,
Do you have your picture in front of you?
that's
Let
what
me
I'm
know.
trying to get.
Oh, no, you went through the whole thing already. You got
Oh.
it.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is Luke's screen, but yes.
I was able to share it.
Oh, who did that? Alex?
No, Luke did. Luke is,
Okay, thank you so much. So.
Yeah, very welcome. Fire
Okay.
away.
So there's the new survey. It is showing, the property, the rear front yard. I was also asked to show the side yard setbacks. So basically what we are asking for is a 20-foot variance. We are on a flagpole lot, which is not visible from the street. The property is hedged, fenced, has trees all along the property line. It would ensure privacy for all abutting properties. And where we originally wanted to put the pool, because I know one of the questions to meet the guidelines for the 5 facts is there another feasible method for us to pursue? We did initially try to put a pool behind the garage in the rear side yard, but it wasn't until we had somebody take a look at the crabapple tree that we were told that due to the size of the tree, it's about a 35 to 40-foot tree with a 50-foot canopy. The root ball extends about 50 feet, and there are critical roots all throughout, about halfway through the garage, and also in the other direction. We also tried to see, as you can see from the survey, we can't put it directly behind in the rear yard because we have our driveway and garage. And then on the east side, which we always thought was our front yard, is actually our side yard. There's a cesspool there. So we're left with the northwest corner to put a pool. So our request is to try and put a pool in that area. So as far as the feasibility, can we put it somewhere else? We certainly did try, but we are left with this option. As far as any kind of undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, the majority of the neighbors in the Broad Hollow Estate sections does have a pool. Our house does line up with all the other houses in the area, so we are just kind of staying within the conformity of the other homes in the area. Did you get the letter or the pictures of the tree? Do you want me to pull that up as well?
Could I just ask a question? What do you mean
Sure.
by line up with the other houses? You're on a flag lot.
Well, as far as like where the, well, our house, okay, it does sit back a little bit, but there, when I say line up, all the houses have pools in kind of the back rear area. We were not aware that where we want to put the pool is partially in our front yard. As I said, we always thought that the front of our house was where our front door was when you first pull down the driveway. So the pools in the Broad Hollow Estates area is in kind of the backside area. So we're trying to stay within that, but unfortunately, we do need a variance to do that. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. As far as the variance being substantial, we feel that we're trying to stay within the 20 feet, which we did change. I don't think there is any concern, or you received any letters of concern about our new proposal. We did in fact send in letters of support. I hope everybody has those letters of support. Do I need to pull any up, or do you guys, everyone has them?
Who is the neighbor to the north?
Is that Weinstein? Oh, Corrigan? Edward Corrigan?
That's my question. It was now formerly Patricia Gleason, but I'm trying to ascertain who
That's
currently.
Edward Corrigan on Moses Lane.
The now okay.
So there was a letter from Edward Corrigan on Moses Lane. There was a letter of to accept our variance request from Ken and Merle Weinstein, and I also think Grace Bolo. And then there was a letter and pictures from Mr. Mahoney about the tree, and pictures as well as far as the canopy of the tree, how high the tree is. Do you need me to pull up those pictures?
Do any board members need those photos screen shared? I don't. I have them.
Okay. Also, one of the concerns was this self-created? We purchased the house from the builder directly. We had no input as to how the house was built, how far back on the property he built the house. The tree was in place when we purchased it. This was not something that was self-created. It's just something that we are trying to deal with now as we are trying to put a pool on our property. And we're running against these little things that are preventing us to put a pool. So we're hoping that the board will help us, because we're really at the mercy of the board, to actually grant us the 20-foot variance that we are looking for. Let's see. So far, does anybody have any questions for me?
My question is only for our legal counsel. Jeffrey, it appears that this is not a request for dimensional relief. It's a request solely for the pool being located where we have determined is the defined front yard.
That is what's before the board, yes. To locate a swimming pool partially within the front yard of a flag lot. That was the denial issued.
But
If you turn it the other way, it doesn't, isn't it more conforming?
Is what conforming?
Your pool, that is the 20-foot setback if you actually do
So
45,
turn it-
yeah.
It gets too tight against the house.
Oh,
Well-
yeah, you mean put the pool in the other direction?
Yeah,
Well, we were told that's part of our front yard, and then it gets very tight against the house because we need to be 5 feet away from the house. It's a very, very tight lot. It's a very strange lot. So
we
know-
can see that, but that It still is that there are zoning laws. That's our mutual problem, is it
Right,
not?
and then, you know,
Let me go back to something, because I don't think we have it right yet.
okay,
It's not just that it's in the front yard, Jeffrey. Isn't it also that this is a variance to a 20-foot setback where 40 is required?
Oh, because it's the front yard.
it's front.
Well, I
and-
know there is dimensional relief that's required here, but not listed.
What I was responding to, Chairman, is what the denial and the item on the agenda indicates. The denial indicates no swimming pool in front yard.
Right, and I understand that. But it's also a variance request for 20 feet where 40 feet is required, isn't it?
Mr. Chairman, could I speak to that?
Yeah, sure, of course, please.
The front yard, as it's defined in this part of the zoning code, is not necessarily 40 feet. It would be anything forward of the house. So the request in this case to locate a pool in the front yard is the dimensional relief. There isn't a specific setback that's required. It's just, it's not allowed within what the front yard is. And because in this case of the flag lot, that northern property line, the front yard is set back 40.2 feet because that's where the closest corner of the house is. I hope that answers the question.
But there's also another line that says front yard 40-foot setback.
The front yard 40-foot setback is for the primary structure.
So there, So the-
Accessory
isn't-
structures can be in the front yard? That doesn't make sense.
no, that's the variance request, but isn't there also a dimensional requirement for an accessory structure in the front yard?
Well, this is the request, is to allow an accessory structure partially within the front yard.
Right, but what is the setback for an accessory structure from the front yard? Isn't it 40 or 50 feet?
No, it would be whatever the house is set at. Because it's not the
Is-
required front yard, it's the front yard, which is measured from the house to what's considered the front property line.
Is that language that's specific to flag lots, Alex?
No, that's how the zoning ordinance is interpreted with respect to accessory structures.
Alex, how was the front yard and the side yard selected? Because it seems like you could reasonably flip a coin on it.
Yeah.
And if you did take the, I guess, eastern property line as the front yard, then the northern property line becomes the side yard. And I don't think you've really changed the character of the property.
That's correct. In this case, it's a flag lot. The front yard is determined rather because it's not based on where Fox Hollow Lane is. And you're right, because of this lot is set at a 45-degree angle, that either one of those could have conceivably been the front yard. The building inspector made the determination based on the way the existing house was built, because this is what rendered the existing house conforming. In that interpretation, the pool would be conforming, but the house rear yard would not be conforming. So it was a matter of interpretation about what's considered the front, rear, and side. But you're correct, in a different interpretation, the pool would be in a.
So the
I see what you mean.
building-
I see what you mean about the rear
Yeah.
yard on the house. Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes
so the
sense.
building department figured out that the house is in a conforming location as long as the front yard is the front yard where they're putting the pool.
Correct. If the house was built differently, it might have been interpreted differently.
Jeffrey, do you agree that there's no dimensional setback that for the front yard accessory structure? I'm not following yet. I understand what Alex said, but I guess I'm not following that. I thought there would always be still a dimensional setback.
Well, what I think Alex was saying is that it's based upon the location of the house. That the
No, I
dimensions.
understand that, but there is a front yard setback for the house, and what Alex is saying is, while there might be a setback for the house, there is no setback whatsoever for an accessory structure. It just has to be behind the house, and I'm not sure.
I should also mention there is a requirement that it be set back a certain distance from the street, but that's not applicable here because we're on a flag lot. So it does meet that requirement that it's set back a certain distance from the street.
So maybe that's the distinction with the other cases we've come across, is that we don't have a street setback. That it's. Does that sound
Where's
like
the
Jeffrey?
protection? How, if we've never I have never encountered this, and I find it odd. And I also feel it somehow denies the neighbor's protection of zoning. Where's another example of this? Is there?
Are you asking me or are you asking?
No,
Absolutely,
sorry.
I'm not
Sorry, we didn't
asking
mean to
you.
involve you. It just
I'm
seemed
so
odd that we don't have a dimensional
I'm
setback.
so sorry. You know what? This is a very strange lot and it's been confusing. I've been in the building department so many times. They've been so helpful. And we're just trying to put a pool in our yard as best we can and trying to save this gorgeous crabapple tree. And we're just trying to, put something in a very weird space.
So Kathleen, I think one of the questions that we might have is again, why not move the pool a little bit? Let's see what direction we're moving in. A little bit to the south.
So based on the tree, which is about 40 feet, 35 to 40 feet, and a canopy of 50 feet, if you read Mahoney's letter, there are critical root zones that come out past the tree, and there's a root ball of about 50 feet. There's also the drip line, and the drip line, the roots go about 1 to 2 times past the drip line. So if you look at, you see where it says on the survey, side yard 26.6, and right before the gate markings on the survey,
Yes.
those roots extend pretty far into that area on both sides, both behind the garage as well as north. So to stay away from those critical root zones, the feeder roots and the canopy, which is the drip line, we move the pool further away so that we don't run into any issues with those roots. Any digging or anything we were told could disturb the tree, and it's a beautiful tree. Nobody wants to see that tree go. And unfortunately, we're stuck with this one little spot.
No, I guess what I'm asking is move the pool equipment elsewhere and slide the pool to the south, at least to where the pool equipment is. Would that be?
We could try and move. Oh, that's good that you did that. Okay, so so you're just saying move it a little bit south.
Yeah, is that possible? Does that?
And change the direction you're saying.
So are you saying to change the direction of the pool?
No.
Oh, okay. So I guess that could be done. I would have to really look at where, just double check and make sure. I guess we could put if we put the pool equipment where it says the roof overhang, is that what you're saying? Just move where the pool equipment is? Because we also have to be 5 feet from that corner. And I think the reason why the pool is there is because we were exactly 5 feet from the corner of that where you just drew.
Do you think the pool, that's a 5-foot measurement there?
Where we had the survey from the corner of the house to where the corner of the pool was 5 feet, and moving it further down where you are goes into the drip line of the pool.
And also.
Luke, I just wanted to point out, if you drew that, that location wouldn't meet the side yard setback because it needs to be
Right.
20 feet from the side yard.
I'm with you.
I'm really sorry about the way this property is shaped. It's just been very hard to try and do it. And yes, we do need to be 20 feet. And, the tree is monstrous. It's just, it's a huge tree. And I learned a lot. I learned about drip lines and critical root zones and feeder roots. So we're trying to just stay, we changed the 15-foot variance to 20, but moving it closer to where that gate is on there could have the potential to start to go into the roots from the tree.
Yeah, and
And-
Jeffrey, the side yard setbacks here for a pool are 20 feet?
I believe that's correct, yes. And to return to one other point, Mr. Chairman, because the question been raised about would neighbors be protected? I think that because what the code says is that pools are just not allowed in a front yard, that anytime somebody would be seeking to place something in a front yard, they have to go before the Board of Zoning Appeals. So the protection would be a part of the hearing process. They're just not, they're not permitted under the code at all in the front yard. So that's where the protection would come in.
I do
Yeah.
want to, I do want to restate that this property is not visible from the street. It is completely landscaped on all sides. As a matter of fact, when Broad Hollow Estates was subdivided, that was one of the prerequisites, that the property be completely fenced, hedged with trees. I have an aerial view of the property. If I can share my screen with you, is that okay?
That'd be great.
Okay. Tino, how do I do that?
Share screen
Okay, click it.
and here. Share. You cannot share screen while other, oh, so somebody else is sharing.
Oh, so maybe you
we'll
have to get
to-
that other, oh,
I gotcha.
okay.
There you go.
This is my husband.
Hello.
Mhm.
Hi there. So right, share desktop one, we're gonna share. And I think, yeah, so now you are sharing.
You're sharing Zoom, so you chose the Zoom screen. Let me pull that down. And
Okay,
can you choose your picture? Oh, are you going through that?
All right, let me stop sharing here for a moment.
Right, there you go.
And
oh,
then,
it's on the desktop. It's here.
yeah, but I have to share a
Okay.
screen first, correct?
Right, when you get there, choose the picture that you're looking for.
So it's in there.
Oh, so we have to open this up first.
Yep.
I got it.
All right.
Did it open?
Not yet.
Nope, not yet.
Don't forget to hit share screen again.
Yeah, I have to find it now. Oh, there's that folder.
Ariel, oh.
There we go.
So it's the,
That one.
yep. Okay,
And so after I have opened it, I can share.
Yes, sir. And then choose the picture that you just found.
okay,
And hit share screen again.
okay. So there's the aerial view of the property. So you could see how the canopy comes pretty far out on both sides. So we are trying to put the pool in here. We have to stay 5 feet away from here, 20 feet away from here. And when I was talking about the critical root zone, I was told it comes out to about here and really just about here. So moving the pool further down, we'd be running into the same thing, where we tried to put the pool behind the garage over here.
Kathleen, can you scroll down so we can see where your neighbor's pool is?
Um,
You had it just before. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
okay, so the
No,
neighbors,
It's right near, okay.
right, so the 20 feet, this is about 10 feet, so it'd be about another 10 feet here. This
Mhm.
is a very large hedge over here. They actually have a gazebo about 5 feet from their property line. But we would be right about in here. And again, it's all lined with trees here. There's a stockade fence. This hedge is very thick. So that's where we are.
Let me hear if any other board members have any questions or concerns. I mean, I don't, because you're complying with the side yard setbacks and the notion that this is your front yard is you know, just
It's bad.
derived from an unusual flag lot. I don't really have any problem with it as long as it's, you know, complying with side yard setbacks.
And we are, you know, and as I said, we changed it. We tried to do 15 just to give us a little more room. We did have some concerns with the neighbors. We're year-round village residents. We want to be neighborly. We don't want anybody to be upset with us. So that's why we moved it to 20 feet. But, and as I said, if Tin Soho never told me that that was my front yard, I would have kept on thinking that this is my front yard for the year.
I have a couple of small follow-up questions. One is,
Okay.
in order to put the pool in, will you need to remove some of these trees that are on the side right where you're placing the pool, where I see branches now? And second is, how old is this crabapple tree, since they're not eternal?
It'll come over the front yard.
The crabapple tree was there when we bought the house in 2002.
Yep.
I was told that the pool equipment would be coming right through here. These trees are fairly new. We just planted them, what, within the last, how long, Tina?
3 years.
Maybe 3 years, but we were told the pool equipment can come right through here.
Okay, and on this side yard where it's a barrier between you and your neighbors, will some of that need to come out for as part of the construction?
You mean
No.
over here?
It's very dense.
Those are tall trees.
I don't think they can hear you. Oh.
I can.
Sorry. Those are tall trees, so when you have an aerial view, it looks larger. The landscaping comes out about maybe 10 to 15 feet.
And it's not going to be moved, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah, because it's a shady part of the yard, so there'll be some shade on that side, but we'll have probably about 5 feet to the landscaping. But most of the other, if we're going to do like a short patio or anything like that, it would kind of be along the side of the pool here.
No, so no additional trees has to come out. We just want to keep the landscaping the way it is so that everybody has privacy. We can't see any of our neighbors. They can't see us.
mhm.
And plus my fig tree is there, and those are blackberry trees, those big tall ones, so we want to keep them.
Thank you.
Joyce, do you have any questions, or Luke, do you have any questions?
I'm good. Thanks, Mark. I agree with your point on that, on the property and the setbacks.
So I will motion to close for all purposes, case number
Mr.
3141. Oh, we need to see if there's any neighbors who want to speak. Excuse me, I jumped. Jolie, are there any neighbors who want to speak to this?
There are no hands up in the attendee pool.
Okay, did any of the board members, I don't want to abbreviate anybody, but do any of the board members have questions or comments?
Susan, did I answer your question earlier?
Can I make another point?
Sure.
So there's a recharge basin south of this property line. Our land kind of slopes towards the recharge basin also. So I would rather not have to be on the other side of the tree, but this side of the tree as well. In terms of just placement of pool.
Mhm. Makes sense. I'll motion to close case number 3141115 Fox Hollow Lane for all purposes. Can I have a second? And all in favor of closing for all purposes, case number 3141115 Fox Hollow Lane, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Yes. Thank you.
So can I just ask a question? What exactly does that mean?
We're gonna close it.
It means if you have any questions, do we get to come back, or do you have an idea of what you're going to do and it's looking positive? Like, I'm sorry, I'm very green with this. I've never done this before.
No problem. It's looking positive. But we do need to deliberate and then reach a decision. But yes, it's looking positive.
So then you'll get back to me and let me know, tweak this, tweak that, and great news, Kathy, we're good.
At the next meeting, we will deliberate and vote.
Okay. And when's that next meeting?
September 13th.
Yes.
September 13th. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Now, have a wonderful evening.
Oh, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy.
So we're moving on now to case number 3142, 161 Cargan LLC, 161 Cargan Street. Jolie, is the applicant here to present?
Yes, Kevin Wells is coming in. I'm assuming this is the representative for the applicant. There's another hand up in the pool, but I'm not sure if both people are supposed to come in.
Brian Glasser is an architect.
He is, okay.
Well, Kevin can decide.
Yeah, Brian, please let Brian in.
Okay. He's coming in.
Hi, Brian.
Hello, how's it going, everyone?
Real well. Thank you for coming,
Hey,
Brian.
guys.
Yep.
Good evening, members of the board. So we're presenting a 3-foot pool variance for a 17-foot setback where 20 feet is required on the north property line of 161 Cargan. And it's a pretty basic request. We had a similar situation at the property at 181 Cargan. And, at that point, I think there was a pre-existing variance that I get, it didn't matter, but I think we had requested an 18 by 30 6-foot pool on that property. So it was a 6-foot variance. I think we were looking to go 3 feet into the front yard and then 3 feet into the southern property line. And I guess at the time, the board didn't look favorably upon putting the pool encroaching into the front yard or street setback on Center Street. So we took that off the table and just asked for the 3 feet on the southern property line. And this is basically a bookend of that property, and we're looking for 3 feet on the north property line. The problem is just because it's a corner lot and we have a 40-foot setback off of Bernadine Street and a 40-foot setback off of Corrigan Street. It really handicaps the size of the pool. And, as of right, we can get 18 by 30. We're requesting 18 by 33 just to get the pool to look a little bit more proportionate, to do a 2-to-1 ratio. I think, an 18 by 30 pool just looks a little squashed. And we also, because of that front yard setback, we have no other room on the property to put the spa. So the spa has to go inside the pool. And then because of the legal grading of the pool winds up at 18 by 30 with barely any shallow end. It just doesn't make for a nice pool. So the 3 feet really is material, for the overall feel of the pool. And I don't think that the 18 by 30 pool is going to work very well for this lot.
Kevin or Brian, do you guys want to pull up the survey or the site plan?
See it?
So the shaded area is the relief sought. And again, if you look at it from an aerial standpoint, we're still within a foot of the principal setback. We're a foot past the principal setback. So the principal setback is 16 feet along that north property line, and we're requesting to go to 17 feet on the edge of the pool on the same north property line. I also emailed Jackie today a landscape plan. I don't know if she uploaded that to the file or you guys have it, but this is going to be heavily protected with evergreens. It's not something anyone's going to see or even notice. I mean, we're talking about 36 inches.
I don't understand you're saying it'll be 1 foot from the approved line. It needs to be by law 20.
No, I'm sorry, Susan. I said 1 foot from the approved line for the principal structure, the principal setback, not
Well,
the
that's not
extension.
our concern. Thank you.
I have a question. Can you clarify what you meant by a 2-to-1 ratio in
Just
terms
like
of?
a standard pool size would be 20 by 30 or 18 by 36. The two pools on the exact same lot size that went in on Corrigan, 125 Corrigan was an 18 by 38. And then 135 Corrigan was a 20 by 40. Those are 2 and 3 properties away, and the exact identical lot size. They're 100 by 160. So again, we're not looking to get 18 by 38 or 20 by 40, but you know, the 18 by 30 would be wonderful to get.
But the other pools are conforming.
Yes,
So what does that have to do with this?
because it's the same lot size. So again, the only thing that handicaps this
It's the
setback.
house. That's your choice, sir.
Susan, with all due respect, you approved the variance for the identical setback at 181 Corrigan.
Every application is different.
So how is this different?
It's different. It's a different situation. You have you have room to have a pool that is conforming. I have no more to say to you.
I would, you know, like, again, I'm wide open if you could explain to me how this is different, but it's adjoining the same property in the middle. It's the same neighbors. I don't see how this is a different scenario.
Conforming, non-conforming, I'm not.
Susan, you voted for the variance to be approved the last time that we requested the same relief for an adjoining lot. You approved it.
I may have, I don't know if, I don't know.
So if you could explain what.
I don't want to argue with you.
This
I'm
isn't for argument between you and the board, please.
I'm not arguing. I'm trying to get feedback as to why that would be approved and this one wouldn't.
Because you have room to have a pool. I want to argue with you, and I will be not speaking again.
Luke, do you have any questions or comments, or Julia?
Julia, do you have a?
I'm trying to formulate the question that I want to ask, because at the outset of the presentation, you said that it was to do this. And then you said you wouldn't even notice it at the end.
I'm saying what I meant was it's important, I believe, for the property, just the way that the pool is going to be built, with the spot inside the pool, with the way that it will offer the pool more of a shallow end for people to enjoy. But I don't think that 36 inches, where we're not going past the principal setback of the house, I don't feel that that would be material to anyone else. And I mean, like I said, I have a tape measure here. You know, we're talking about this much. It's 3 feet. It's a 54 foot. You know, the complete relief requested is 54 square feet in total. And like I said, I mean, precedence was set at 181 Corrigan with the exact same relief was approved by the board.
Yeah, that actually isn't all that, as a statement, it's not all that informative, because I actually know nothing about the house that you're talking about, or any of the other pieces that might have gone into it, or the size of the garage. So when you say that it's the same,
What I mean when I say that is that lot is they're both so that was 181 Corrigan.
Identical. The garage is identical. The pool is identical. The patio space is identical. The landscaping is identical. Is that what
it's not it's very, very close. The houses are within 10 square feet. The lot sizes are identical. They're both 0.37 of an acre. They're 100 by 160. So the lot sizes are identical. The house sizes are identical. Within 10 square feet. The setbacks with the garages are the same. The garage setbacks are the same. The principal building setbacks are exactly the same. It's a bookend scenario. So you have 181 Corrigan, 171 Corrigan, and this is 161 Corrigan with Center Street and Bernadine Street on the ends. So, and like I said, I'm not trying to be argumentative, but right. So you can see from an aerial standpoint that this is what you're looking at. So again, with the lot sizes being exactly identical, that gave us our principal building very, very similar in size, within 10 square feet. So same, I mean, again,
Where's the identical?
hold on, I could show you a
In the end, all that we do here at zoning is about inches and feet. And so the comparison pieces are, it's just not helpful unless we're looking at it at the same time.
can I send, I can
That's not what we're asked to do. We're asked only to deal with what's happening, what the code asks for. And frankly, trying to do the comparison confuses the conversation and makes it harder.
I have a current aerial photograph of 181 Corrigan completed and 161 Corrigan under construction that I could send right now. If you just give me a minute, we can pull that up. Brian, I'm gonna email this to you real quick, so you can kind of see what the progress of the block looks like. Hold on, and you can really see how close that they are.
Kevin, the main entry to the house is from Corrigan.
Correct.
Front door?
On both of them, yes.
Brian, do you mind pulling up the site plan again?
Brian, I just emailed you the current aerial photo.
I'm gonna just show you this.
So to me, I think I think the trustees need to take a look at swimming pools specifically on corner lots. Because this is a property that really is geared towards Corrigan. The pool is in, as far as the experience of the property is concerned, in the backyard. I don't really have a problem with the 3-foot variance. I think maybe more favorable, even though, would be if you shifted the pool over 3 feet and conformed with that rear yard, side yard, and asked to encroach 3 feet into the front yard, considering the fact that that still puts you back probably 6 or 8 feet from the nearest plane of the house to Bernadette. Is it Bernadette Street?
Bernadine. And
Bernadine.
I
Yeah.
completely agree with you. I would have requested that relief to go into the front yard, but the last time that I presented 181 for the board, it seemed like that was way more of a stretch to get the pool into the quote unquote front yard than to, kind of go on that, request relief from the north property line.
Yeah.
So this kind of paints the picture of what we're talking about when I say, identical. I mean, you could see that the setbacks from Corrigan are the same, the setback from the north and south of the Center Street and Bernadine Street, the detached garages are matching, and then the pool goes in between the house and the detached garage. So like I said, they're very similar, and we were, granted the 3 feet of setback here. But again, I think what Luke is saying is a great point, because at that, if we go 3 feet to the south, we keep the 20 feet off of the neighbor's property, and we still have, with the 10-foot village buffer plus the setback, I mean, that's almost 57 feet from Bernadine Street. The pool will be almost 57 feet from Bernadine Street. I think that's much less invasive, and like I said, I would have proposed that, but again, like I said, I thought that it was more of a stretch to go south into the, like I said, quote unquote, front yard setback.
Well, Kevin, I don't want to confuse the issue here, and by suggesting something different, but I do think the photo of the property to the north actually is helpful here. I do agree with Julia. It's tough to say it's like the same, but I think if you look at the pool and you look at, is that Center Street there?
Center Street is here to the north, right?
Yeah, so that, like, to me, that doesn't feel like a pool that is in a front yard. Even if you're the neighbor across the street on Center, And I think, like I said, I started this out by saying, I do think the trustees need to revisit the language about swimming pools specifically, not accessory structures, but swimming pools on corner lots.
So Kevin,
But I'm happy to hear, you know, like Susan or anyone that disagrees with me on that.
Kevin, how many feet was the pool on 181 from the southern property line?
From the southern property line was 17 feet. Which is exactly what we're asking for here. And it conformed to the north property line, Mark. It was 50 feet from the north property line. But I mean, again, that's kind of up to you. I'm open to either, if you'd rather have 20 on the north and 47 on the south, or 17 on the north and 50 on the south. That's completely up to the board. I'm open to either one. I would prefer to keep the 20 and then go to 47 feet south.
Kevin, are you going to screen the garage driveway in the same way so that
Yes.
Driving east-west, you won't see the pool?
Absolutely. Privacy is paramount. And again, you know, this is, you know, people don't want to be seen when they're using their pool, and they don't want to see other people. So that's going to be, again, if you guys can pull up the landscape plan that I submitted, is that possible?
We don't have it.
Oh, you don't have it? Okay. And then I also submitted eight letters from neighbors that are in favor of the variance being approved. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
So I have eight neighbors that are in favor of the variance being approved.
What time did the site lead? Probably didn't catch the deadline for the planting plan.
I could send that right now. If
Well, call it, share it.
Yeah,
Share it on the screen. It's worth looking at.
All right, let me see here. Hold on. It's probably easier. if I-
Jeffrey, didn't we receive a letter with a group of neighbors objecting rather than?
Yes,
We had that, and then we had a series that came in this afternoon that were positive. And the negative letter was one letter with multiple signatures.
I don't know if this is material or not, but two of the signatures on the negative letter were from Joe McLaughlin, Jr. and Sr., who live on 436 Hill Street, which is almost 3/4 of a mile away.
well, the neighbors aren't on the zoning board, so we get these letters, we read them, but
No, I get it. I just thought it was odd that someone that lives, you know, almost
let's,
a mile away.
I
is
prefer to discuss the fact.
Sure. All right, hold on. All right, Brian, I just sent you the landscape plan.
Sent it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you get it, Brian?
No, I was gonna say text it to me and then I can email it to myself.
I don't think the form, hold on. I apologize for the
Got it.
delay.
I got it.
All right, you got it, Bri?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right, ready here. Can you guys see it or no?
Yep.
Oh, good. All right, let me just zoom out so you can see the overall picture. Oh, nice.
So I mean, the pool is, again, it's tucked in between the garage and the house. We do a pretty extensive landscape plan, obviously with privacy in mind.
I'm gonna say, if you look at the edging, it's kind of tucked within the spacing.
And again, the trees that are around the perimeter are all evergreen. So 4 seasons, the house will have privacy.
How tall are the trees you're pretending?
The perimeter to the north, I think we're starting at 7 to 8s, and then to the south, we're doing 8 to 10s. But they grow routinely, I think maybe 12 to 24 inches a year.
And there's not another tree on this lot? It's just a big giant.
Well, we kept obviously the 3 village trees, but the way unfortunately the house was facing Bernadine Street that we knocked down, and there was just no way to get machines in and out and kind of orient the new house with any of the existing trees that were on the property. And a lot of them were just, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this lot, but this lot was in really, really rough shape. It was completely overgrown. A lot of people didn't even know what the house looked like. So we figured we'd start fresh. The village trees that we keep are obviously gorgeous, the big maples, and then we supplement those with a really nice landscape plan. And you can kind of see that, if you want to go take a look at 181 Corrigan, it's a very similar landscape plan to that particular house.
Okay, I think we get it.
Mr. Chair, could I just point something out?
Of course.
I just wanted to make a note. I understand that the pool equipment would also have to be put in a conforming location. I think where it's shown on the landscaping plan may have to be moved within the setback or what's approved by the board.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's within the setback. I think the pool equipment has to be 10 feet. Is that accurate?
I think my understanding was it had to be the same as the pool.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry.
Kevin, didn't we have it in the garage?
Yeah, we put it in the garage in the last house again. I don't know if I didn't discuss this with my landscape designer. He may have just kind of taken that upon himself, but in the, at 181 Corrigan, we put the pool equipment inside the garage.
Great. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Yeah.
So where are you proposing to put it?
The pool equipment?
Yes.
Somewhere conforming. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. If it's got to go inside the garage again. Again, I don't know if this is, we would have to look at the setbacks. Like I said, I didn't put that in there. I think he kind of took that upon himself in the rendering. That wasn't something planned or discussed.
Okay, do any other board members have any questions, or can we consider whether we'll close this for all purposes or adjourn it for all purposes?
Are there neighbors, Mark, want to say anything?
Yeah, let's find out if there are some neighbors who want to speak to this. But for right now, do any board members have any additional questions? Hey, Jolie, do any neighbors want to speak to this?
There are no hands up in the attendee pool.
Well, we're really popular tonight.
But I would like the opportunity to actually think about some of the things that have been said tonight. I've actually found the presentation not intentionally, but I have found it to be confusing. And I'd like to actually gather my thoughts and I may have follow-up questions at our next meeting.
Okay, so I'll motion just to
Wait,
adjourn.
wait.
for all
Do
purposes.
we want site plans from his 181 that he keeps referring to?
Well, we have that in the building department.
I think
We can always get
181
that.
is a confusion to
There.
this.
What?
I feel like 181.
You don't want to talk? Okay,
61, not 181.
okay.
And I believe it is in your file if you do want it.
Like I said, my only point of bringing up 181 Cargan was, again, it was a very, very similar scenario to this. And, you know, it was approved by the board. That was, like I said, I believe that, you know, I mean, again, I don't know if precedence holds water with you guys or if that's even a real thing, but people say it like it does. And again, I just figured if that was, you know, what was approved and it was made everybody comfortable, I was trying to, you know, appease everyone and try to do the same thing here. That was it. The intention was not to swim upstream. It was to make this, you know, a smoother process for everybody involved. And like I said, I wasn't trying to really think outside the box. I would prefer to go into the front yard setback. But again, like I said, if that's something that is a bit of a stretch, then if we want to just use the precedence for 181, I mean, then we could do that too. It's totally fine.
We don't need precedents according to the municipal training that we are required to attend. That are really not held to. That's
Okay. Yeah,
that's your
again,
imagination. Every property is different, even these two. And so
Susan, I completely agree.
Please
I
let me
completely
finish.
agree.
Your contention that it's the same is your argument, but we may not accept that, Mr.
So
Wells.
why don't we adjourn? Why don't we just adjourn this for all purposes? Can I make that motion? I'm sorry, Joyce, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just, I kind of agree with Julia that I feel like I need some more time because I think that the presentation was confusing. I think we need to look at this 161 in, as an individual case separate from the 181. And also I think don't we need some clarification about where exactly this pool equipment's going to be located and whether that's going to be in compliance with the setback?
Well, it will have to be, otherwise they'll need a variance. So,
Yeah.
so they're going to have to put it in a compliant location.
I can guarantee the pool equipment will be compliant. I mean, that shouldn't even be, we shouldn't waste another moment on that.
Sorry, we
I
need
will
to know
say-
where the pool equipment is. That's part of what we're deciding. I'm sorry, that just isn't, we're not.
We can always require a revised landscape plan showing
Sure.
the pool equipment in a compliant location.
That's fine, but we do have, you know, the building permit was issued, so wherever, you know, I mean, I don't know where we put it originally, but again, the landscape plan and the plan that the 18 by 30 pool is already permitted.
Fine.
Well, there you go. I mean, fundamentally, you should come to us with exactly what you want. One of the things that you've also said tonight is like, you'd like to go here, you'd like to go there. I know it's based on the conversation that's happened tonight, but if you've changed what you ultimately want us to consider, please make that change formal.
Well, can I ask, you know, again, I would love,
On the spot about what we're actually talking about. It's too confusing.
I completely agree with you. And now, do we have like a consensus as to what the board would feel more comfortable with if I were to ask for the relief from the 3 feet from the south setback or from the north? I mean, again, that's
a decision you have to make and bring it to us and we'll take it from there. But to ask us to actually do your landscape, to do that planning.
no, I'm asking just at first glance, would do the members of the board have a preference as to what they would prefer?
We aren't going to answer that.
And
That's up to you.
okay, so anyway, for right now, let us deliberate, Kevin, and right now we have a permit for an 18 by 30 pool. So we're looking at whether it should be an 18 by 33 pool. And let's just for right now adjourn for all purposes, and we'll have some time to review this and ask additional questions if they arise.
You got it.
So,
Is there a
Jeffrey,
second?
did you want to say something? Jeffrey, I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, I just wondered if there was a second to the motion.
Okay, can I have a second? All in favor of adjourning Case number 3142161 Corrigan, for all purposes, say aye.
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 Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Okay, we're moving on to case number 3134, 84 Ann's Lane. Jolie, is the applicant here to present? Of
Yeah, let me just please bring out, give me a moment just to
course.
take people out here. Okay. All right, so whoever's here for application 3134, sir, please raise your hand. There are no hands up in the attendee pool, but there are two persons, so I'm not sure what to do in this situation. Do you know who the representative is? Oh, here we go. Sal Iannone is coming in.
He is listed as the applicant.
He is. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Mr. Iannone, you can unmute and turn on your camera, please.
Got the unmute on. Where's the camera?
It should be right next to it. It should say start video.
Oh,
Here,
there
I'm
we go.
sending you the link. There you go. There you go.
There we are. Well, that's better. Should I start?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Good evening. This is Sal Iannone, architect, representing 84 Ann's Lane, Sarah Tershwell. We are seeking a variance to slightly enlarge the house, square off the rear corner for a one-story addition. The allowable lot coverage, we are conforming to that. We are asking for additional square foot under the FAR. The allowable floor area on the FAR is 3,605 square feet. The existing floor area is 3,609 square feet. So currently the house is 4 square feet over the GFA. We are proposing to add 28 additional square feet for a total of 3637 square feet. This is a total of 32 square feet over the GFA limit.
What percent of the total house is that 32 square feet?
I don't have that figure. That's a good question. We're asking for 28 more square feet.
So the only variance request here is to GFA. We're okay with pyramid law. We're okay with all other dimensional
Yes.
requirements, so.
Yes. Yeah, we're trying to enlarge the dining room in the rear corner of the house. And we're going to take away a bump out in the kitchen that was a breakfast area, move that square footage into the corner. And then the difference we're looking for from 66 to 38 is a total of 28 square feet.
Yeah, it's less than 1% of the whole house.
Right. Thank you.
Sal, can you screen share and show us the benefits of the applicant?
I don't have that ability.
Luke, can you do that? Thank you.
I don't have a survey in my packet that I can find. I saw it online. Is there a survey?
There should be.
I know. I have a question. There in the application, it says, have you gone before the ARB? And you said yes. But are these the plans that were approved by the ARB, sir?
No, we haven't been before the ARB yet. No.
Well, why did that's what it says. Okay, never mind.
Maybe I made a mistake.
Surprise, surprise.
So,
Okay.
so Sal, you're proposing to remove this bump out
Exactly.
and shift it to this
Yes.
area. Okay. So and you're saying the house is already 4 square feet over the allowable GFA, but you're gonna cut this out and add marginally more for what? A total of 32 feet or 28 square feet over
So
the
that, so
GFA?
that new addition in the corner is a total of 66. The breakfast room that we're removing is 38. So
Mhm,
the
mhm.
difference is 28 square feet.
net 28 square feet.
Yes, we're adding 28 square feet.
So what do you accomplish by doing that? What's the benefit?
We are trying to enlarge the dining room. The breakfast room had no real use. The owner wants to get a bigger kitchen, and she would like a better place to sit in the dining room.
I think this looks pretty reasonable myself.
Yeah, the dining room is 11 and a half feet right now, and we're adding 5 feet. Not even 5 feet.
Yeah, I really don't see any detriment to the neighborhood at all, and I do see the benefit to the applicant.
Yeah, agreed.
I agree.
There you go.
Oh, it's gonna be easy.
I like it. I like it.
Are there any questions or concerns by any board members? Otherwise, we'll see if anybody from the neighborhood wishes to be heard.
No, I think it looks actually logical, which is pretty amazing for stuff that comes before us.
There are no hands up in the attendee pool. Would anyone like to be heard on this? No, there's no one who'd like to speak.
Okay, I mean, yes, it seems fine. It seems fine with me. Do we want a motion to, I can motion to close it for all purposes, if that's okay with board members?
Yes.
Yeah, I would second that.
Okay, all in favor of closing for all purposes? Case number 3134, Sarah Tershwell, 84 Ann's Lane, say aye.
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 I,
Thank you very much, Sal.
Thank you. Good
Thank you,
night.
Sal.
So I will motion, unless anybody has anything they want to bring up at this point, I'll motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
And all in favor of closing the public hearing Thursday, August 25th, 2022, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.